with as the Irish guilt. It's all this melange of guilt. But it's also, a working class background. They taught you the value of $1. I was a paper boy at 11 years old. I, had to pay, my room and board at college, so there was definitely this very strong work ethic. So it's not just the guilt, it's the work ethic, it's the love, it's a great family, it's the humor, it's saving every penny you could to send money home to your mom, or to actually bring your kids over to meet their grandparents. I mean, there was just a lot of sacrifice in there as well. And those are some other things in the book that I talk about as well. Like, I remember a few summers, my mom would waitress, and she would, take all the tip money she made, and she would actually save money for the telephone poles that would eventually be installed at my grandmother's house. So they would be running this line of telephone poles from the Boreen, as it was, to the main road, so that my grandmother would have telephone service. Those are the memories that I have of just family, that kind of dedication to your family, as well as sacrifice.
Now, when was that? When was the
It was in the 70s.
The 70s, right.
So here we have this, Ireland's such this big telecom thing, but in our lifetime, in your lifetime and mine, Americans were paying for the telephone poles to go up and bring rotary phone service.
Right. Oh, I remember
there.
that. Yeah.
So that's another part of it as well. A lot of faith, family, and sacrifice and fun. So.
And you mentioned your mom, of course. I mean, she plays a big role in this, and the little voice inside your head, as you said, sounds very much like your mother for the most part. How has her reaction in particular been?
Well, I think, it's funny because there's a typical Irish mother's, a reaction to it, which would be she loved 50 stories of it. There's 3 of them she didn't like, and those 3 ruined the book for her. So, well, if it wasn't for those 3 stories, I would have liked that book, but you ruined it with these 3 stories, Meanwhile, in most grading systems, 3 out of 50 would be, what, an A?
Yeah.
If you're like a 93, I'd be on the honor roll for that, but not when you have an Irish mom. So, but I think overall, again, it was a little bit of a tough process for them to go from having these private things that were out to celebrating the fact that, okay, this is really something a little bit more universal. And when I say private, I wouldn't really air the dirty laundry of the family or anything like that. But it was just, these fun stories that we would always tell at a family gathering.
And slightly embarrassing.
Slightly embarrassing, but, I didn't want to tell something on somebody, somebody in the family was drunk driving or something. I'm not going to tell something like that.